Hello, it's Paula. Wanted to come up here and speak with you all about something that we all deal with, and that is fear. Fear is something that can terrorize our lives if we let it. It will limit you, immobilize you, it'll block you, it will keep you stuck and stagnant in life. It is a mindset that we create, and it can hold us back from living the life we desire. I teach people to live authentically, live abundantly, but you can't do that when you have fear preventing you from doing the things that you absolutely want to do. So what is fear? Fear is a very heavy emotion that we all experience sometimes. It is hardwired into our brains, and it actually protects us. We interpret fear as danger, and it was hardwired into our brains years ago when humans first came into existence because it protected us from real dangers that we were exposed to. But now we live in a more cultivated society, so we don't need the fear. We don't have the danger. We're not facing this danger anymore. So when we have this hardwired into our brain, the question is, how do we truly overcome fear if it's natural to us? Well, I have a few ways that you can begin implementing into your life. The first thing that you can do is become aware of your fear. A lot of times we're not even aware that that fear is holding us back. It's obvious when there's something that's really scary. Let's say someone sneaks around the corner and they scare you, or there's a dog that appears and you're afraid of dogs. You're going to have obvious physical reactions. Your heart rate's going to go up. Your breathing will get shallow. You may get hot and sweaty. I know for me, when I get scared, my skin tingles all over. So I know, oh, that scared me. But then there are other times when fear is so subtle, you don't even realize it. And it's subtle because you've been dealing with this fear for so long. So for example, let's say that you really have an attraction to someone and you know they're attracted to you, but every time you want to say something, you don't. You talk yourself out of it. You find different ways. You say things like, I don't deserve it, or she's going to say no, or even there's an opportunity for you to apply for a promotion and you say, well, I'm not good enough. They're just going to say no. I won't get the job. That's fear holding you back. And you're really going to have to become aware of why this fear is holding you back. First, become aware that it even exists. And that is what is holding you back in life. So in order to become aware, whenever you tell yourself no, whenever you want to do something and you end up taking a step back and you recoil, you have to ask yourself, well, what's happening? Why am I stepping back? There's not a dog. There's not a mountain lion. I'm not hundreds of years ago living outside of the house. What's happening? Oh, it's fear. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is question the source. Where is this fear coming from? Of course, you ask, is it real? Like I said, is it a real danger? If it's no, where is it coming from? A lot of times fear is rooted from the past. So it could be something as simple, and we'll talk about rejection. Let's say in junior high, you had an interest in someone, you said something to them, they said no, they clowned you, joked you, whatever. Okay. And I know we may laugh, oh, junior high, you're carrying something from way back then. But the truth is, there is something called childhood wounds. And when things happen to us in our childhood, it gets stuck in our head. It creates a fear. We tell ourselves a certain command that holds us back. And then we carry that with us 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years into our life. We don't even realize it. And that's why it's important to question that source. Where did this come from? Ask yourself, when do you feel this fear? What triggers it? What feelings do you get? What are the memories you have around this fear? Okay. The next thing you want to do is when you're in the midst of fear, really take a look at yourself and ask yourself, are you focused on the now? Or are you thinking about a potential situation that may not even be real? A lot of times we get into this overthinking and it creates anxiety. And of course, anxiety leads to fear. You know, our thoughts create our feelings. So when you start thinking of what could potentially happen, they're going to say no, they're going to reject me. If I even apply for this job and they say yes, they're going to see I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to get fired. I won't make it past the 90 days. I'm going to suck. You start thinking about that, but it's overthinking. Get into the now, get into the reality of the situation and focus on what's actually happening. I want to speak a little bit about rejection. I've dealt with the fear of rejection. And there's a particular coach, I think his name is Brendon Burchard, and he actually talks about this. He has his group of people do like a little exercise. So he has them write down the number of people who have truly rejected them. And I think he said the number is usually between 4 and 12, depending on the person. So you write down the number of people that have truly rejected you, not the ones you think have rejected you, but those who have truly rejected you. Look at that number, then start writing down the number of the times you weren't rejected. So you can have a comparison and see how many people accepted you, how many times you weren't rejected, how many times you were successful. So you can realize that a lot of times when you're thinking of rejection, you're thinking of that one instance, that two instance, maybe a situation that happened last year, a situation that happened 20 years ago. So it's not common that you're being rejected. You just carry those few situations with you and you think everyone's going to treat you like that. But the reality is most people are not rejecting you. So really take that into consideration. The last thing you want to do is work with your fear and take action. Like I said, fear is hardwired into our brains because as humans, we needed it to protect us from danger. In order to tell our brains that this situation is not real danger, we have to push through it. We have to train our brains to understand that it's not a real danger. So when you find yourself in a situation, you're feeling that fear, and especially if it's something where you have to make a choice, do it scared. So when you get to the other side of that invisible hurdle that you created, because fear really is false emotions appearing real, you're creating this invisible fence, you're creating this invisible hurdle. But when you get to the other side, you'll realize, oh, well, I did it. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't scary. What was I so scared of in the first place? So you're able to move forward. So lean into the fear. We have to learn to allow our feelings to come up and actually lean into them and push our way through them so we can train our brain to see things differently, feel things differently. So I have one challenge that I would like for you all to have for yourself. And I want you to ask yourself, take some time and reflect. What would your life look like if you could overcome your fears? Would you have that job that you want? Would you apply for that promotion? Would you take that trip? Would you have that relationship that really provides you with that love and that partnership that you desire? Would you try something new? Would you dress differently? Would you have different friends? Would you go different places? Really get down, ask yourself, what would your life look like if you could overcome your fears? If you would like help, as you know, I am a coach. I do work with people. The fear mindset is huge. I work through everyone with this. We take a lot of time to really get into the subconscious mindset. We also dig into the past and look at the childhood to see how the things that happen in our childhood are staying with us in this present day. If you are interested and you would like a complimentary discovery call to chat with me, I have the link. Just click on it. My calendar is open. Schedule some time, and I hope to speak with you soon. And if you have any other questions, you can always reach out to me in the DM. I wish you all peace, light, and lots of love. Good night.